Okay, now let me walk you through the task two. So in task two, what you need to do is that you first save lab task one as lab task two so that you don't overwrite. And then you need to rename encode.s as encode and encode underscore task 2s 2.s. Actually, you need to rename this one encode task 1.s as encode 2.s. Let me make this correction and then come back to the. So now, so what you need to do is that just simply create, save that lab 4 underscore task 1 project as lab 4 underscore task 2 and rename the assembly file as encode underscore task 2.s. Then you need to make the changes which I'm going to which I'm going to explain now. So what changes you need to make? Okay, let me first show you the skeleton for or maybe I can directly show you the solution and I can explain what changes you need to make, right? So, so there are two changes which you need to make. One is to do 10, which basically says you need to read the value for count from user using serial monitor. So actually in this part, what we are going to do is that we still want to generate the Morse code for Go Aggies, but we want to generate it as many times as is specified by the user. So what we are going to do is that we need to read a value or for count variable from the user, and then after reading that value, we use that value to um, I run a loop in our encode function. Okay. So for example, and so this is like to do 10, which you need, which is very simple. You just need to read the value from the user using its two-digit value, and then here to do 11, which is you need to iterate the body of the or the body of the encode most count number of times, right? And by now we have seen so many example in lecture slides and also in previous labs how to write a loop. So for example, if your user says that count gives the value of count is equal to 2, then your Morse code for the Go eggies will should be created 2 times. And if the users gives an input value of 10, then the Morse code of Go eggs should be created and shown on the LED 10 times. So that is to do 11. So this is your task 2. Okay. So I have already completed the task. I can simply like run it and show you if it is working or not. Okay. So for example, now my screen is asking to enter a value. If I enter 02, so you here can see, I mean, it will be, you can see the LED is blinking, the green LED. So it is actually creating the Morse code for Go Aggies. It will create the Morse code 2 times and then it will stop blinking. Did I did I burn the code? Let me like check again. Okay, let me check again and then I will. Yeah, now it has stopped. Yeah, it has stopped because it was a long code, Go Aggies. So and we are saying to generate it 2 times, so it took longer. And now you can see that LED is not how to say uh, blinking or turning on and off again. So this is what you need to do in the task 2 of the lab. So task 2 is relatively simple as compared to task 1. That's why if you go to the points distribution, so task 1 carries 70% and task 2 carries 30%. So 70% in total is for task 1. And what is the distribution for the subtask? So each to do in task 1 has 7%. So they are in total 9. This is again a mistake. So it should be 9 times 7. I will correct it after the video. So it should be 9 times 7 is equal to 63 because each to do has 7% and there are in total 9 to dos. So you will have 63% and 7% is for properly documenting the code by putting comments. So make sure that you are putting the comments. The other thing is for task 2, we have 30% in total, 10% for to do 10 and 15% for to do 11 and 5% for properly documenting the code. And what are the deliverables? You need to submit the data files for both tasks, lab 4 task 1 and lab 4 task 2, and also you need to submit .s file for both tasks, that is encode underscore task 1, name them as shown here, and encode underscore task 2. Also make sure that you show your work to TAs or instructor during the lab hours and upload the required files, otherwise you will get no points. Please make sure that you show your work to the TAs and upload the, because otherwise we cannot be, if you don't upload your files and you don't show the TA, we have no proof that you have completed your job successful, your lab successfully. Okay.